Yep, that's right guys, I folded for Black Ops 6. It was on my radar initially, but all it took was a couple of hours playing at my cousin's house for me to be like, yes, I need that. I did make a video on the beta a while ago and I was a bit skeptical. I wasn't planning on getting it straight away. I think I said I'd hold off for a sale, but once they dropped Nuketown, I was like,
oh shit. Here we go again.
Now I might be a bit biased because I loved Cold War, the zombies especially was great. It had its whole progression system with perk machines and field upgrades, and because it had that, I could play that for hours. There was something to work towards besides trying to get to a high round. It's definitely a lot easier compared to Black Ops 1, 2 and 3 though. With the zombies in Black Ops 6, I haven't played much. I've been focused on multiplayer, which is usually the case for most people, but I played a bit of Liberty Falls. It kind of reminds me of Outbreak from Cold War, a bit more of an open world with lots of Easter eggs to complete, different and unique enemies with most of them returning from Cold War. I think the spider looking things are new as they basically replaced the hellhounds you'd get in the older zombies, and quite frankly it's made me want to give the camo challenges a go. I've started with snipers, so gameplay is a bit boring, but I'm hot garbage when sniping, so I'm trying to get them out the way first. I'll only commit if I get all 3 snipers done. There's 33 weapons to get through, and whilst the variety is lacking for certain classes, it makes sense so the camo grind is a little less painful, but given how much time I have, I might end up unlocking Nebula by the time the next Call of Duty comes out, to be honest. With how long it's taking me to do the snipers, I'm in for a long ride. I've never fully completed a camo challenge in Call of Duty before, so we'll see how this one goes. Gobblegums are back as well, so alongside the field upgrades and perk machines, not only is there a lot more to work with, but there's a lot more to upgrade as well. And you can actually save your progress and come back to it whenever, which makes it perfect for world record attempters. But yeah, once I messed around in zombies a bit more, I might do a longer review in a future video. Before I talk about multiplayer, I've got to show some love for the campaign. I know people are clowning the fact that Black Ops 6 was in development for 4 years, but I must say I'm impressed with the campaign. I think since 2022, 2021 even, campaigns for Call of Duty have incorporated more covertness, stealth, a bit more freedom to change up your playstyle instead of typically blasting your way through most situations. This is still possible, but in this campaign you'll find yourself in the Middle East, Kuwait, hunting down enemies in open land and taking down helicopters in a chase, stealthing your way through a bell tower in the Mediterranean coast for an assassination attempt, or you can head to Washington and take part in the gala. It kind of gives off a Nathan Drake Uncharted vibe, stealing items for other people so you can gain access to restricted areas while maintaining a low profile, or heading to the casino to play some poker while the rest of your team work behind the scenes. I think they worked really hard on this because you're given a lot more in missions, you have your own map to navigate the location you're in, there's optional activities which give each level some replay value, and some missions offer multiple ways to complete the main objective too. You've even got a weapon wheel now, so more items are at your disposal. Kind of feels like Far Cry. RCXDs, homing knives, explosives, a camera to mark enemies to assist in stealth navigation. Some activities will ask you to hack into devices. They're kind of easy, just number to letter puzzles, but sometimes you have to do this while enemies are on patrol, so it adds more pressure, You also have keypad puzzles, which is sort of like a guessing game really. And you don't just play as the same character either. For more large scale missions, you'll find yourself swapping perspectives that cover all aspects of an objective, which I think is cool. In between missions, you can head to your safe house with the cash you earned in the level to purchase upgrades, to improve your character's offensive and defensive capabilities. With the in-game cash, you can also get free weapon skins that are usable in multiplayer, zombies and Warzone 2. There's a bunch of other rewards like operator skins for completing story missions and challenges as well. And I thought this was a great idea from the developers. Typically, most people who play COD jump straight into multiplayer or zombies, so it could be a way of incentivizing people to play the campaign for these free rewards, which helps if you don't want to spend COD points.
No! You'll never get a cent out of me! Never! I'd rather that worm come in here right now and eat you all alive!
To be honest, I only started up the campaign because I wanted a specific Marshall skin where I had to complete the High Rollers mission. It takes place just over halfway through the game, which isn't too bad. I knew this guy looked familiar though, Elan Noel. I only know him from the first Purge movie. And the lady that plays Sev in the story was a character I recognized from Waterloo Road years ago, Karen David. It's crazy seeing her in a COD game. Anyway, you're not just fighting regular enemies either, you will encounter a few bosses along the way to make things a little interesting and see how you fare with the added equipment, inventory and additional upgrades you have. I think the only annoying thing was my game kept crashing. This only happens in the campaign and I'm not the only one with this issue. Randomly during a mission or just before a checkpoint, my game would just take me back to the Call of Duty hub area. Or it'd get so buggy I'd have to restart my game or PlayStation for it to work. It's very strange. Sometimes it would happen during cutscenes, but luckily the checkpoint saves are frequent, so it wasn't too bad in the end. But I've heard people have lost their entire save files because of this, so hopefully they get it fixed ASAP. It's still annoying. I've even avoided optional dialogue and jumped straight into a mission instead just just in case it crashes. As of making this video, it could still be fixed now though, but if anyone else had this issue, let me know in the comments. All in all, if you haven't played the campaign, definitely give it a shot, it's a lot of fun. If you like Far Cry, maybe a bit of Wolfenstein, Hitman or Uncharted, this campaign definitely gives off those elements, which I think is a good thing. I'd say just be wary of this one mission called Emergence. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's this section involving creepy mannequins, and I honestly...
The conference room case.
Huh?
I don't do too well with scary games. The last time I remember being this scared in Call of Duty was loading up a Kino match by myself. Anyway, multiplayer. I don't have too much to say, to be honest, other than one word, and that is chaos.
Yeah. Nope.
And of course, you can't have chaos without a sprinkle of COD timing. It gets so chaotic, sometimes you've just got to sit back and chill with your teammate for a second.
What's up, baby?
What's good, my boy?
How you?
Staying out the way.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of rounds they put in the snipers this year, but it feels like you're getting hit by a truck. I'm a bit picky with the maps I play. I prefer small scale maps mainly due to the constant engagements, and dying isn't too bad because you can get straight back into the fight. Since launch, this game has accommodated that well. We've got Nuketown 24/7, an OG map, the name explains itself, can't go wrong with Nuketown. They've made Stakeout 24/7, a much more enclosed map. I call it the shipment of Black Ops. It's a great map to get your camo challenges done, so be prepared for melee users as well. It's the most chaotic map in my opinion. Although I can see why people don't like having doors in COD games, because now you never know what's on the other side.
Eliminate all threats.
Because Stakeout is high demand, a lot of other maps often get neglected. I'm about 15 hours in at the moment and only played Gala once or twice, and I don't even remember playing Pit either except during the beta. It was always Stakeout or Warhead, which is a bit unfortunate, especially if you're someone who likes to play a variety of maps, but hopefully they put those in a 24/7 rotation at some point. That makes the most sense to do. I'm liking the gunplay. I did play the beta, so a bit of muscle memory remained, I guess. The attachments aren't too punishing this time. There's very few cons with most of them, so you can actually make a decent build without having to try balance everything out for once. The Omni movement, to my surprise, isn't used as much, at least from what I've seen. Most players just dive onto an objective or dive off staircases essentially, and whilst I have had my ankles broken by many players, it's not as ridiculous. I'm not that good, but I seem to be doing alright in most lobbies. And whilst I do prefer smaller maps, I am a fan of the 10v10. I think Cold War set it as 12v12 a few years back, but it's a lot of fun, especially if you manage to get 20 plus players on a Nuketown map. This is the best time to get camo challenges done with this rotation. Me, I think I'll push for diamond since I only use SMGs and ARs. Gold is as far as I got for any camo challenge on multiplayer, so I'll see how things go. Leveling up through prestige also grants you with weapon blueprints, operator skins, icons, emblems, and gobble 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 gums. Again, Black Ops 6 has tried to incorporate as much progression elements as possible through all three modes, and with Season 1 around the corner, they have big plans. New score streaks, operators, Warzone is returning, new multiplayer and zombie maps, new weapons. I've noticed a few things from Black Ops 4. I think there's a new map returning from there, and also the Sorg, a very good SMG from that game, especially if you could dual wield it. So I'm speculating and hoping they bring the Rampart back. That gun would blitz through people at long range, such a heavy hitter. But hey, regardless, I'm gonna hold my hands up and say I think Black Ops 6 cooked with this one. I'm enjoying the multiplayer, campaign and zombies. So whilst my bank account is hurting right now, this game is scratching the itch for me. I was speaking to my friend about this, but I'm pretty open to trying most games, RPGs, racing, strategy games, but there's always a time where I just need that first person shooter, one you can just go crazy in, jump in a few matches and hop off. COD is that game, I think, so let's hope these guys give Black Ops 6 a good year of content we can all enjoy. For anyone skeptical, it's not cheap, so I don't blame you for waiting, but I think it's very enjoyable, at least based on what they have on offer in terms of progression. And for anyone already playing, how are you finding it? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Dre, take care and see you next time.